Good morning. We woke to rain, and unlike Monday's rain, we didn't have any damage. Just rain. It's lovely. It's just like 9 o'clock, still a bit overcast. It's gonna get steamy as soon as the sun comes out, but yeah, that's really gonna perk up the garden. So today is Friday. This week's episode of Pemberley, Oklahoma just went up a couple hours ago with the storm damage back here. And what I had started doing with this area. But since I didn't have to water this morning, which makes me so happy, I'm going to see how much of this I can get cleaned up today. Himself is here, so he can help me with anything that's too big for me to tackle by myself. So yeah, we're gonna work on this today, and I thought it would be the appropriate time for my wake up and spend the day in your beds mug. This side says, "I love gardening from my head to my tomatoes," and I don't know if you can see down in there, but it says, "Hi ho, it's off to work I grow." So our very punny gardening mug with some PG tips. Alrighty, so yeah, half-inch rain today, about a half-inch probably on Monday. My rain gauge was a little lopsided. So in August, that's pretty good in a week, so I can already see the grass greening up. Oh, himself has just fired up Elsa. He has just fired up the mower. Alrighty then, I'm gonna gather up my tools and get to work. Alrighty then, I have switched to iced tea, sweet tea with mint. Ran down and checked on himself. He is mowing. We have spots that have weeping springs, so those always stay green. And then since we had some rain on Monday and again this morning, it's not mucky, but the grass is starting to grow. So yeah, he's out there mowing. So he's doing the mowing and I'm up here. We're tag teaming today. Tasty. So next up, put my tea on the golf cart so I can find it. So I've got all the limbs picked up in here, all the small ones. And I didn't want to do a lot of chainsawing in my flower bed because I didn't want all that sawdust. So we're left to the one big limb. So it is time, people. It is time for the chainsaw. Also, once again, DeWalt, come on, sponsor me. I'm your girl. I got all the tools. You could keep me in batteries. I would be a happy camper. So yeah, we're gonna get the chainsaw going, and we're gonna lumberjane this. Alrighty then, I have gotten the big limb chopped up. I've got it loaded up in the back of the golf cart, except for 3 very big pieces back there that are heavy. So I'm gonna wait, and himself and I can do those together. Either that or he could probably get the small tractor in there and pull them out with the chain, but we'll probably just lift them. I mean, they're not so heavy 2 people couldn't lift them. So anyhow, that's coming up. And whew, so it's a good time to talk about zinnias. So here are the little seed pods. You can just scatter those in your garden, or you can save them and label them and have flowers for another season, another space. But if you're doing zinnias to cut flowers, you want to cut them as far down the stem as possible, because wherever you cut them, they will grow out from there. So if you say were to come to the garden and you were going to cut right there, that would be where it would go out and make more flowers, and so you end up with really short stems after a while. So you want to cut as far down as possible. So I am just gonna, there's a couple of pretty little blooms here. So when you cut them out of the garden, cut them as far down as possible as you can, and then after that, you can just snip them off. And then also you want to strip the leaves, because you don't want the leaves in your vase, in your bucket. Alrighty, we're just gonna work on this for a while, and himself looks like he's about done with mowing, and we have already conferred on lunch. Hamburgers it is, veggie for me, and he had one left over from the last time we grilled in the freezer, so yeah. Got tomatoes, I got some Malabar spinach, so onions. We definitely got pickles. So I'm gonna work until he's ready to cook the burgers. So it's Saturday morning, and I came to the farmer's market. I do come to the farmer's market most Saturday mornings, although this season I have been mostly eating out of my garden. I will get a few things here and there, but for the most part, I don't buy a ton of produce here, because I've got what I need in my garden. To be fair, it's been a fairly quiet summer, so it's just mostly been me and himself. We haven't had a lot of company. So yeah, there's enough for the two of us. And so the main thing that I come for, flowers. Look at those flowers. So today's a little bittersweet. It is the last Saturday that my friend Cassie, who grows these beautiful flowers, this is her last Saturday at market. She is taking a much needed break, which I'm glad to hear, because farming is hard work. So she's taking a much needed break. So this is her last Saturday at the market. Her farm stand will continue to be open through mid-September, and so there'll be smaller bouquets there, but this is the last Saturday of the big beautiful bouquets. And then she's actually taking a little longer break this year than she normally does, so her farm stand will close in September and open back probably the end of February, 1st of March. So, which tells me I need to get on my fall gardening produce thing so I can have more out of my garden, because I haven't started anything really for fall yet. But anyhow, so yeah, it's a sign that the season is winding down. And there are other vendors here, but Cassie's my friend. And also everything she grows is organic. So I tend to follow the season of Cassie. When Cassie is done at farmer's market, I'm done. Although I may show up a time or two, until later, maybe like for the closing of the market in October. So anyhow, we'll see how it goes. The other thing I got today, there is another farmer that today is their last, the season is winding down. Today's the last Saturday that a local farmer who grows only sweet corn and watermelons are his main things, and then a few peaches and cantaloupes and that sort of thing. But so he's not here early on in the season. He's a little later on, because when the sweet corn comes on, that's when he comes to market. But sweet corn's been over for a while. So I got a watermelon sitting right down there in my floorboard. that was picked yesterday from the farm just a few miles down the road. And there is no better watermelon than a watermelon that is grown by a farmer that carries it to your car, that lovingly tends those watermelons. So I'm excited for that. Yay. So anyhow, we're going to head home, arrange our flowers, have lunch with himself, and then we'll see. We're actually supposed to get some more rain and storms moving in for this afternoon, so I'm excited to see if that happens, because if that happens, I don't have to water the garden again tomorrow. That would be lovely. So we'll be back to either, we'll see how it goes. And we got a lot done on our project in the back border. There's a little bit more that we want to do back there, so we'll probably do that either Sunday or Monday and film the how it ended up looking. So yeah, we're gonna get on with our day. Oh, trimmed all the zinnias, collected the seeds and saved them so I can reseed in the spring, or I'll probably do some in the fall too. And there were a lot of seeds, so I can move some elsewhere. So there we have it, all cleaned up, looking a little bare. Mowed this evening. It's nice and overcast. It's a little steamy, but I don't think it even hit 90 today, which is amazing in August. So yeah, we got this done. Things are a little sparse back there, and they're gonna continue that way. One of the problems that we have I have in gardening here in Oklahoma is that most garden centers, they concentrate on spring. The greenhouses are just overfilling with plants and things. And then, the heat of summer, there are a few tropicals here and there. But then there's not that much of a selection in garden centers. There's no one in my area that I know of that really focuses in on fall planting and fall blooming things and whatnot, because September and October are really great times for tree planting and shrubs and perennials. And you can find trees and shrubs and things in garden centers, but it's a lot of the times the perennials are just left over from in the spring, and they look sad and tired, and you're like, okay, yeah, they'll probably come back next year and look good, but I'm paying full price for a really sad, tired plant. Yeah. So that's a problem gardening here in Oklahoma. We'll start to see asters and mums in the garden center. Asters, we usually get like one or two varieties, and they don't seem very hardy to our part of the country. They just kind of fizzle and they don't come back, is my experience with them. The mums that we generally see in a lot of the garden centers here are big, beautiful ones that are meant to sit on your front porch and be pretty for a couple of weeks and treated like a bouquet, but not a lot of hardy, come back reliably year after year. I have started looking into doing some mail order for some more of the old-fashioned type of mums and things for my garden, but that's another problem we face because like right now my email is full of, oh, we've got fall plants, it's time to order. Well, it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow. I don't want to mail order plants when we have several days of 100 plus weather, because it's going to be sitting in the back of a delivery truck just being miserable and hot. So I don't want to do mail order right now. So yeah, it's a problem. So we shall see what we come up with. There will always, and then once we get a little further along, it'll be time for pansies and violas. So that's always really, really, those are really colorful. So we can add some of those in. But so that's what's going on here at Pemberley, Oklahoma. Tune in next Friday, we're going to be sharing some things that are bringing us joy in the late summer garden. But that's all for now, so we will see you next week.